Hello, everyone. Are we live? Is it on Facebook? It is. Welcome, Facebook friends. I'm going to see if I can do this and get us online at the same time because we're streaming from Zoom here. But what I love to do is be able to interact with anybody who wants to say hello. And there we are. Look at that. I could see myself on my phone as well. So welcome and a huge congratulations to my dear friend, the newest author to launch his book, Finding Light. It's your guide to healing and happiness after divorce. So welcome, Proncius Killian, and thank you, and huge congratulations. Big props to getting this done and celebrating all the work that we put into this. So thanks for being here to celebrate this launch. And for those of you who know me, of course, I'm Trisha Becker. I've been working with this amazing man for several months now. Started last year, but we met long before that. But to really tell your story, Proncius. So I also want to say thank you for trusting me with this journey to share your story, specifically out of divorce, through those dark times, as I know too well, and really finding your light and sharing it now with others. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Proncius. Where are you in the world? And just share a little blurb about who you are and what we're doing here today.
Okay, Trish, thanks very much, Trisha, for all that. I'm from Ireland here, in the west of Ireland. I grew up on a farm background and involved big time in coaching young kids in school and from young age to adults, So I love my work and work with youth, and I feel my role in life, my purpose in life to inspire these kids and to help them along. And the book then came out, I went through a tough time there about 7 years ago, and I went through a breakdown of marriage, and I went through a betrayal, and the book really came from that. I thought it'd be good to do the book for other people who are going through a tough time. I was there in a dark place for a long time. I didn't know what's going to happen, so I had to take responsibility and start protecting my own energy and to heal myself. So I'm hoping this book will those who are going through a tough time or through a hard loss out there, this book might be a big help to them, going forward, how to come from the dark side, to find their light in your life, and to focus forward, look forward, and try not to be a victim. Reclaim your power back and go forward, and don't be wondering what people are thinking about you or telling you what to do. Just take your own power back and focus in your own life, what you want, in from your heart, what you want in life.
Yeah.
So,
and you are a perfect example of a man who has stepped into his light and is actually doing that for yourself now. So I'm really honored to know you and have worked with you. As we were writing this book together, Proncius was telling a story, and as I was translating it, typing it, editing it, kind of getting the story. So we're a reader, when we speak story, it's way different than reading story. So what we did together inspired me. So again, I want to say thanks for that, and that we, created this title, Finding Light, is everybody goes through those dark periods. And anyone who's been through divorce, as I did, and that was one of the reasons I think we connected so well, because it was the darkest of the dark times in my life. And I've been through a lot of dark times, but that was by far the darkest. It was literally like there was no color in the world for a while. So that we created this title of Finding Light is not just your story, but it's really a story for other people who are going through a similar journey in any way, because it's not just about divorce, betrayal, and stepping into your own power, protecting your energy, and finding your light. It's a journey through any darkness. And that's what so many people just stay stuck in. So this is an inspirational book. I'm going to show the cover again. And this is the proof copy, because it's launching this week. The book will be available on Amazon. It's in Amazon UK, Amazon US. The Kindle version is available on the 28th. And as Amazon delays, who knows, it should be available for the paperback copy as well on February 28th. So we're launching it this month. And I wanted to share the story about this amazing author, Proncius Killian. And as we really dove into these stories, after asking a few more questions, I'm going to share a chapter in here, just a few paragraphs, and it was my favorite chapter because when we finally got out of this dark tunnel, you know which one it is. But we finally got out of this dark tunnel and that desperation when we feel the darkest of the dark times, that turning point. Oh, I just got chills. It's the best. Like when there's that turning point in something, and everybody's been through this in some way, shape, or form, when you finally hit a turning point and you connect to your own truth. And for me, like this chapter 7 in the book is that moment when you gained your power and it grew. And now, as you share it with other people, mainly the kids you coach, your friends, your family, your children, it's just going to expand and grow. So I am so excited to be here with you celebrating this book launch. What I want to do is see if I can find my notes here and just ask you a couple quick questions. So you shared a little bit about this, but if I could, we're just going to go through about 3 questions here. Tell me, Proncius, why did you really write this book? Why did we take on this project together?
Like I said early on, just if I could help someone else going through a hard time, what I went through after a breakdown of marriage, betrayal, and there was a dark time there, and I just had to go forward, move forward, and take on that emotion of betrayal, which is one of the toughest emotions you'll have to deal with, So I took on that, and I had to, take responsibility, and had to move forward. I had 2 kids in my life, so I had to, live for them too, So I could have been a victim instead, but instead they're giving out, but I had to live for them, and they were really what I live for, I mean, every day they're a big part of my life, And I just had to show them the way as well, that this way I had to, I didn't go down the road of trying to get me, try to do harm or anything, I mean, I always said, if people are trying to harm you, just leave them there behind you and just rise above them, rise above them. And I learned a lot of lessons. I learned a lot of lessons on the way. I met some great people like yourself, Tricia, and I met a lot of great teachers like Dwayne Dyer,
Yeah.
what he had to go through in his life, he had to forgive his father because his father walked out when he was very young.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, geez, yeah, this is I have to do the same. This is my road, this is my pathway in life. And I have to, keep going forward. And
Yeah.
I got lucky, thank God, the book. I mean, like I said, I came across some great teachers,
Yeah.
and like I'm here now, and things are good. Things are good, I mean, there is tough times, you will be challenged here and there, but
It happened.
you keep going forward. And I had to big thing that I learned from it is my energy, protect my energy, from people.
Mhm.
So I was giving my energy away a lot, and a lot of people, telling you what to do, and they're trying to say, so I had to protect my energy, and each day I would, sit down every morning, and I focus on going forward every day, moving forward.
Mhm. So
Also,
with that,
sorry, I
um,
should mention one more person there, Tricia.
absolutely.
It's a company that I joined there back in them time was Christopher Duncan, this
Yes,
super conscious company. They were brilliant. I mean, they were
absolutely. Oh,
what I saw him do there with people,
yeah.
and he was a big help to me. And
Huge shout out to our mentor. That's where we met in this World of Conscious
yeah,
Education company. Thank you, Christopher Duncan and Hannah Nice and everyone at CEC
and
for
yeah,
bringing this kind of work to our lives that created massive shifts for both Proncius and I. And then when we met, I was actually guiding Proncius just how to tell your story because I learned from Chris Duncan when I created my book. My book, Mindful Minutes, was the same journey. It's funny. They're both the not for sale copies. I mean, mine's launched on Amazon last year, but it was that process. And I knew Proncius, you wanted to tell your story. So I said, well, I'll just do what I learned from Chris, and here, let me just teach you how to do it. And it ended up being a collaboration instead of just me guiding you. And it was such a blessing for me. Like we said, the story is not just about this journey from betrayal, but it's about how do we apply this work from our great teachers, gurus, spirituality, whatever it may be, whoever you're learning from, how do you actually apply it? And you share so much of that in this book about
that's a good book, yeah,
one of
Tricia.
my Wayne Dyer, before he passed, that was one of the greatest gifts of my life. And some of the other great spiritual teachers that you connected with and really created this story about yourself that was new. And that's a lot of what we share and how to do it and how to apply it in this book. So with
Mm.
that question, maybe it's a nice segue into like, who do you think this book is really for? Who do you want to read this and get the most out of finding light?
Well, mainly for people who are going through had a big loss in their lives, a betrayal or divorce. I mean, they're mainly for in that place where you are, starting off, and you don't know what's happening next. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's ahead of you, but it's for them people that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is light there, and you just have to take the first step. You don't know where first step is going to lead you, but you have to take that step and move forward, and keep focusing going forward. I know sometimes things will trigger you to make you go back a bit, but you keep going forward, and that's you focus going ahead.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing.
And that metaphor of the tunnel is such a perfect explanation. We just keep going forward, the light is there.
Yeah,
And
the
it's like
light is there. Yeah, the light is
keep
there,
going.
and
Yeah.
yeah, the light is there. And I mean, when you're in the morning, each day, you kind of focus going forward, and you can feel it in your heart that from your heart there is light there. And I've been lucky. I've met some great people on the way. Like I said,
Yeah.
I met yourself, Trisha. I met Galit there, I have to thank, and Linda there,
Yes.
and
Oh, delete Ruben. Yes. Rock
Galit.
star that she is. Absolutely.
And she was very good, and Linda was very good to me. And look at, I met
Love you, Linda.
great people. And look at, I learned a lot. Like I said, I learned a lot of lessons and who to trust. I mean, my intuition is much stronger now than it was in the past. I'm much stronger intuition. My intuition is stronger. So you know who you listen to people and listen to them talking, and you know you pick up on things, and you can read people a lot better now. I have to mention
For
my
sure.
father. My father was one of them great teachers in my life. He was a man who said few words, but he was had great judgment. So
Mhm. Yeah. And what was the line that your father said about the powder? That I learned from you. I never heard the phrase before.
I got
Keep
the
your
line. One of the lines that it came up is that I was. Someone said to keep your powder dry. Keep your powder dry. That means not to do any harm to anyone. Keep calm, because a lot of people were pushing my buttons. Like in the book there, you said it's dedicated to people who push my buttons. And a lot of them push my buttons because as you read the book, you see why they did it.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So I knew that, and he was a wise man. He would say very little, and he wouldn't react. That's what I thought. He saw things, but he wouldn't react.
Yeah.
So I
That's
had,
I love that line, keep your powder dry. I had never heard it until you shared it. And then of course I heard it in multiple places. But what really connected to me is the idea of like I said, powder, it's about gunpowder, right? Just a metaphor. But
mm,
gunpowder won't work if it's wet. So,
yeah,
but you got to keep it dry. And it's not like you want to use it anyways, but
mm,
just in case you need it to really protect yourself. And
mm,
that metaphor is what you really did with your energy. So
yeah.
share with me if you could. I want to ask you one last question, then I'm going to read an excerpt about this. Is what do you think the most important takeaway is when people read this book? What's the most important thing you want people to experience after they've read the book?
To take away from the book, I suppose, take away. You could end up as a victim. You're giving out all your life, and you have to take your power back.
Yeah,
Take your power back from people, Um, protect your energy. Be aware, and protect your energy is big. A big time is protecting your energy, because people would take your energy and would zap you up. So, but keep. You'll have probably one or two friends in your lifetime. So if you have them backing you up, good. But other people, keep away from them, because they only drain you. They drain the energy out of you. And so, suppose that's one part of it. The lessons I learned. You learn lessons. The people out there, for me, was learning lessons. I learned from what happened to me was the lessons I learned. I learned from them, and you move forward, go forward, move forward, and forgive. I learned a big lesson of forgiveness, and Trisha. Trisha, the big one I had to forgive. I forgive a lot of people because all the hurt and what happened, and that was big, and that's not easy to do.
yeah,
So, but doing that was one of the big lessons to do. Forgive those. I know people will hurt you out there, but in order to get free, in order to see your own light, you
yeah.
got to move forward and forgive people, forgive them.
Well, I love seeing your life now that you've done all these things for yourself. And the greatest gift you bring now is guiding others how they can do it for themselves.
Yeah.
So there's a few different ways people could reach you. I'll share the link for being able to purchase the book via Amazon, either in the UK or in the US. It's available this week, starting on the 28th. So in a couple days, you can pre-order the Kindle version. And when the paperback launches, Finding Light, you'll be able to get it on Amazon. Is there any other way you want people to find you or reach out to you, or you want to talk more about the kids you coach or the inspiration that you're bringing to the world in the beautiful land of Ireland? We could share an email if you want. Or would you like people
I
to
mean,
just buy the book? Is that the best way
buy,
to
buy,
learn about
buy the
this?
book on Amazon. I think this is the best way. Buy the book on Amazon. I think the best way, and maybe I might link up with other people some other time, maybe on Facebook or something else, But
Yeah,
here on Amazon, the link, and look at. I'm lucky to be where I am. I'm very lucky the job I have. I work with kids, like I said, I work with a lot of youth and
yeah,
kids, and
yeah. And teaching sport, and you're really good at it. And I know how much those kids adore you. So,
well, I don't know about that.
you push them hard, but it's all for a great benefit and the
Yeah,
wonderful game
I do.
sport that you guide.
I do find a great enjoyment doing that. It's a great gift. It's great to
Right?
do it. I'm lucky to do it. I'm lucky. That's all I'm saying. I'm
Yeah,
lucky.
I know you stay active. So I'll share a little bit of this chapter 7 in the book. That's one of my favorites. And if you have any questions about Proncius or his story or how we did this, we took many months, many weeks, many hours writing the story together. What Proncius would do is tell me the story, and I rewrote it. So I created the story as a readable story and journey from that darkness into light, kind of organized it in a way where you get to learn more about his journey personally, spiritually, and the power of, like he said, forgiveness, staying in your power, protecting your energy, and experiencing your own light, and allowing all of that to be part of the life you choose to create now, which greatest benefit in that is really that keen intuition you have now. And I love knowing you're able to experience the truth not only of yourself but others and the world around you in a way that is now really amplified and more connected to your truth and your light because of this journey. So super grateful that you shared it. And if anybody wants more information about how to write a book, I'm offering those kind of services. It's just a one-to-one process, but I think we did it in a few months. And then the launch, of course, with an editor and getting it in Amazon, that's its whole other journey. But the writing process, I hope it was as fun for you, Proncius, as it was for me, because you
Yeah,
inspired.
you
Yeah,
know,
you had a good time,
I,
hopefully.
I wouldn't have done it without you, Trisha. That's one for
Oh,
sure.
cool.
Done it
Thank
with
you so much.
your expertise. You were very tuned in. You're very tuned in, and you're very, quick to. I know that piece you're going to read. I think I have a fair idea of the piece you're going to read of the book about
Yeah,
the timber, the splitting the wood. I think. Am
yes,
I right?
exactly. Yes, yes, of course. I surprised him.
Okay.
For anybody watching, I didn't tell Procius which chapter I was going to read. I was like, I'm going to pick the spot, but I'm going to pick my favorite part. So with that, I got to put the reading glasses on. Let me share chapter 7 here. This is a little sneak peek at what the book inside looks like. This is called Chopping Wood, Building Life. I'm just going to read a few chapters or a few paragraphs here. Later that year, and this is after finding out about the betrayal, the journey, becoming a single man, focusing on his children, moving through forgiveness, really understanding where he was at in this new world of being a single man after divorce. So he said, later that year, as the cooler weather approached, I stood in the woods, axe in hand, staring down at the pile of timber that awaited my focus. The ash trees, victims of last winter's storm, were now lined up like soldiers, ready to be dismantled and repurposed into something useful. The weight of the axe felt familiar, a reminder of countless times I had gone through this ritual. Yet this time something was different. This time the act of chopping wood wasn't just about preparing for the cold months ahead. It was about something deeper, something within myself that needed to be split open, examined, and reassembled with intention. I swung the axe with practiced precision, aiming for the weak spot in the wood and the place where the fibers were most likely to give way. It was a technique my father had taught me when I was just a boy. You look for the weak spot, son, and that's where you place the hit. Use a wedge if you have to and make the crack bigger, and then strike again. It's all about timing and technique. As the blade sunk into the timber, I felt the familiar jolt travel up the handle and into my arms. The crack began to spread, slow at first, but then with growing confidence, I removed the axe, inserted a wedge, and struck again. And the wood split cleanly, falling into two neat halves. And I stood there for a moment, breathing heavily, and I looked at what I had just created. The pile of chopped wood was growing piece by piece, and with it, so was something inside of me. This process, this deliberate, methodical breaking down and rebuilding, was more than just physical labor. It was a metaphor for the life I was choosing to create, one swing at a time. And to me, that's the book in a nutshell right there. And that story, when you shared that with me, I said, boy, Procius, this is good. Because the darkness is dark. We all know the similar kinds of pain, but that turning point and that metaphor in that story, but that physical activity, that just imagining the anger and the frustration and that shift, oh, it was so powerful for me. So there's more moments like that in this amazing book, Finding Light, by the amazing new author, celebrating your launch this week. Procius, so proud of you and so happy to know you and so blessed to have taken part in this project with you.
Thanks, Trisha. Thanks for everything, Trisha.
My pleasure. It's been a joy, and thanks for everybody who is watching. If you have any questions, I think there's a bunch of people on Facebook. Put them in the chat box or the comment section. I don't know if I can actually see it now, but if you do have any questions regarding Procius accessing the book, his name, and I'll share the links and everything, is Procius Killian. Congratulations. The book is called Finding Light. It's your guide to healing and happiness after divorce, or even after any kind of darkness that we might journey through. So thank you for making time to celebrate this announcement with me. And I look forward to celebrating all of the people finding their light based on you sharing your story. Super grateful.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Trisha, and to everybody else. Thanks for everyone.
My pleasure. Thanks, everybody in Facebook land, for watching. And let me know if you have any questions regarding maybe writing your own book and sharing your story with the world like we did. So have a good day, everybody.